Welcome on in, guys. Tobin here with you, and thanks for checking out the channel. Hope you're doing well out there. If you guys could subscribe, that'd be great. Hit that like button, subscribe. You guys know the deal. Appreciate it. If you guys could also subscribe to the Tobin and Leroy Show on any podcast platform, that'd be great. We go live every single weekday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can listen to that free on the Odyssey app. You can also watch it on YouTube and Twitch. The handle is Miami560WQAM. I always link the YouTube page right in the description of each video. So, appreciate you guys. Thank you for all the support you guys have. So, all right, let's get into today's topic as far as whaling is concerned. And that is in regards to probably the biggest pipe dream in all of the Miami Heat targets this offseason. And that involves the Greek freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo, who today it was thrown around in the podcast realm. This was on the Low Post show. And the guest was Howard Beck, both of The Ringer. And Howard Beck, they were discussing the Houston Rockets, and then they were discussing the potential of getting Giannis Antetokounmpo to the Rockets and what teams Giannis would like to go to or what teams he would have, because we don't really know. We don't even know if Giannis is going to act out, is going to ask out. And I feel like this is a couple things that's interesting about this, right? One, we don't know what makes Giannis happy, what makes him tick. We don't know what he wants his legacy to be. We don't know if we know Giannis has made jokes in the past about like the top international players going to play in big cities. He plays in Milwaukee. And I don't really even think that he has a problem even in Milwaukee or sick of living in Milwaukee. I just think that if you're him and you're hitched to this team and they've given up their draft picks for Damian Lillard and for Drew Holiday, and Damian Lillard just tore his Achilles, it is a natural crossroads to ask. So it's just one of those things that's going to be out there and be in the ether. But Howard Beck, lovable rascal that he is, I believe he was the one who stirred up the whole Ja Morant stuff, even that it was a thing. Been a long time NBA reporter and boots on the ground and whatnot, right? So he said on this podcast, I poked around a little bit a few days ago, and the initial thing I got from one person was just like some rumblings. It's just big cities. One of the LA teams, one of the New York teams, or maybe Miami. Not a big market, but a glamour market, mid-sized market. I think that through Chicago in there, and I can't remember if Houston came up. It should. So first, it's like, where does Giannis want to go? Do they honor that? Because back to the Damian Lillard thing, you're not obligated to honor it. And of course, we're all too stung by that. And the first thing I want to say is, you can notice I do not have my Orca with me. That's for two reasons. One, my son took it back, which is his right. It is his toy Orca. And second of all, I don't really know if this is quite the move yet. Like once we get the Shams bomb or Chris Haynes or whomever who's like, hey, Giannis, this is his list and this is where he wants to go, then we'll go, we'll get into it. We will sharpen the harpoons. But it is obviously a summer. We're going to be talking about a lot of different places and pieces. Zion, Ja, Giannis, KD, Larry Marketing, draft pick, just go and reset, refocus, like my boy Sergei Bobrovsky. But yeah, like, look, Miami's always thrown in there. It's amongst these teams, right? It's tough that it's become for Miami, and I am very guilty of this. I am aware that I have trafficked a lot of this. I have become very mature in my ways of aware of what I have done, and I love the offseason. And the thing that has hurt me, and I think the summer of Dame, I'm not quite over it yet, is that I'm scarred and I'm hurt. And from my standpoint, it's sad that it's like this has become what we hang banners on now. It's like Bradley Beal's first choice was the Heat. Damian Lillard said only Miami. Giannis maybe was interested because Howard Beck said it on a podcast. This is what we have right now. This is all we have right now. And it does feel like the Heat are really just hanging on for pipe dreams. And we don't really know the tone of the organization as I record this on May 6th, Tuesday, May 6th, a little before 4 p.m. Eastern time. Haven't heard about when Pat Riley is going to speak or when he's going to speak, if he's going to speak, what the future of the organization is, because that is a bit of a question for the Heat, right? Is it not? Like, let's say later on this week, Pat Riley speaks and he announces his retirement and he's done, and the Heat go in the direction of Eric Spoelstra as president of basketball operations and head coach, or Andy Ellisberg as the president of basketball operations, and whatever. So there's so much still unknown about where the Heat will go from here. But the Giannis thing very much feels like a Hail Mary that the Miami Heat are in a spot right now where, look, if the Heat would have looked a little spunky in the first round, maybe a Giannis is looking at that and being like, oh, I could do something there. I don't know where the brand is right now. The only thing that the Heat has right now is this city is awesome. It is very international. A lot of players do. You ask Goran Dragic, how much he loves that, or even, Jimmy, one of the things that he loved about the city. Never said they didn't love the city. So it's an awesome place to live. There's no doubt about that. I don't buy any of the star, the regimen, all that stuff, the Heat culture buy-in. I mean, I don't know if you could find a guy who feels like he lines up with the values of the organization more than Giannis Antetokounmpo. So I think all that stuff would line up. I don't deny that. It's just a question of hey, what's the Heat's in here, right? Because they don't have the most assets. They're not exactly in the position from right here on the outset. I don't know what other moves could be made congruent with it, but they don't seem like that they have a move that will make them a thing right away. There's a lot of talk about him going to Houston. And the only thing I would say about this, if I was Giannis is already having trouble getting through the East. I think any star, it does have, somebody has to take the temperature of, what star definitely wants to go to that conference where it just seems like an absolute buzzsaw right now. And I don't know if you look at the same, and especially if a Boston team is a little bit more depleted, you have a Cavs team that's, got it. We still got to see what they can really be. We know what they did to the Heat. They drop kicked them like it was nothing. So I do wonder what that is. If Giannis stays in essentially the weaker conference, but is in a place that he enjoys living more, if he does, I don't know. Because I know based on tea leaves of seeing his family, his wife, they all seem very proud. It's kind of like you're doing the cryptic thing, boots on the gram of I saw that the Mrs. Antetokounmpo put oh, look what you've built. You should be proud of what you built on Instagram. He posted, posting some things of him, winning for Milwaukee. So the initial read is probably, hey, I don't even know if this guy is going to ask out. Because if I was Giannis, even if I had to stick out a couple of tough years, right? Even if I had to go out there, even a couple days ago, he posted a photo, and I don't know if it's a goodbye or whatever, but posted prayer emoji, salute emoji with the win one for Cream City, which, by the way, is just a terrible nickname of a city. I just want to be clear there. I know you guys kick ass with cheese, though. Wisconsin, shout out. But I do. There is. I'm sure there has to be a level of wonder for Giannis. The Bucks give them credit. They have done right by Giannis in getting him Drew Holiday after the Heat beat him, getting him Damian Lillard. They're a little bit hollow right now because all the other pieces of their championship are pretty much gone except for that giant ostrich, Brook Lopez. And I don't know what his future is, and I guess Bobby Portis is still hanging around. But, all right, first let's get to the point of there's so many bridges to get to with just, hey, Miami's an awesome place. Would Giannis go there? Second, okay, let's say Giannis does ask out. What's Miami's plus? Okay, he wants to live here, and he's got respect for the organization. They've had a lot of great playoff battles. He's won one. The Heat have won 3 or 2. I'm sorry. And then it's all right, well, what do the Heat, is he going to come here just to come here? Or is he going to come here? He's only going to come here if it plays. And then, where do the Bucks lie as far as doing right by him? I know Zach Lowe on this same podcast has said, my impression would be the Bucks would do right by Giannis and send him where he wants to go. Okay. He takes the landscape of it. He's I want to go to Miami, but I only want to go there if I can play with Tyler and Bam. do the Heat have anything else? I mean, they have the salaries that could technically make it. So if it's salary, all the picks, all the swaps, Kalel, Jovic, Jaime, Pella, is that enough to sweat? Do the Bucks feel like they're coming out of that thing whole enough? That's a question for them. I mean, I understand where they would look at it and be like, hey, if we could get Şengün, even more picks, sorry, Giannis, love you, but we're doing right by you. And look, they were already on the other side of this, right? Like, they brought in a star who didn't want to be there. They stuck their beak in the Damian Lillard business. And yeah, it's been a disaster for them. But for the Blazers, I guess the Blazers have done okay. I mean, hell, they only finished a win behind the Heat. Joe Cronin can still go to hell in my eyes, but I do wonder if there's a different karma outset from Milwaukee, just because like he did win them a championship. He did get them a new arena. He has been everything to that organization. The GM did just sign an extension, so I don't think his job feels threatened. So maybe he does feel that way. I don't know. It's too tough to gauge this stuff. But I will say, it's not like I love the Heat's hand. I'll be honest with you guys. Like, I think there's other plays, and I think there's other guys and avenues where I'd be like, generational superstar comes available. Or like generational superstar comes available. Don't know if I love the Heat's hand. Star with baggage. Don't hate the Heat's hand. Think they got some things that can make that move. Aging superstar like Kevin Durant. Don't hate the Heat's hand. Don't hate it. Not because I think that KD will probably get to go where he wants. Don't hate their hand. But I think the one thing that I do love about the Heat, and I've said this anytime Giannis has been mentioned with the Heat, what I do like about the Heat is I think their intel will be good on this because of the relationship with Giannis's agent. And Giannis's agent is Bam's agent. And so it's going to go one of two ways, right? It's going to be like, hey, would Giannis want to play here? You go up and you call up his agent, Alex Saratsis, and you say, hey, Alex, what are Giannis's feelings on playing in Miami? And he's like, yeah, but you guys are going to trade Bam for him? He goes, he's not into it unless Bam's in the trade or Bam's not in the trade and he gets to play with Bam. Like that stuff matters and it has mattered. I mean, like that's kind of the frostiness that's going on with the Lakers right now, right? Like, have they moved on from being Clutch's team? CAA with the talent ties. So the one thing I like about the Heat getting into the Giannis Derby, if they're really in the Derby, I think they're going to come from a place of knowledge because Bam has been paid well by the Heat. He's gotten extensions basically unseen. Remember, originally back out of the bubble season when he got his first extension, the Heat could have waited. It really wasn't a penalty for him financially at all. They could have waited, been in a better cap space spot if Giannis would have become available. He ended up not because they signed Drew. He signed an extension. But when all that was being talked about, they didn't do that. And Pat Riley said, we're going to take care of Bam. They took care of him. So if they call up Alex Saratsis and they say, hey, what's the thought on that? Yeah, he wants to be there, but I'm not. Dude, listen, I'm not sending Bam to like Milwaukee. You guys are going to do that to Bam? And Giannis, is he going to just be there to play with Tyler? Like, there is an element, there is an element of like relationships there that the Heat are going to know, hey, this is where his feelings are in the organization. What would it take to get it? And all that stuff would be pretty interesting as far as like if they're in the game, you would think that it's because they got the green light from the agent. But then you got to wonder with Milwaukee, do they do this without coming away with, certainly they got to get Bam or Tyler, right? Like that feels like that's the baseline. But then if you're Giannis, you're like, well, okay, so I'm going to go play with Bam, but we have no guard who can score. I've heard it thrown around like, what if you just took on would it be palatable if the Heat took on Damian Lillard too? And knowing that like you basically have almost a Chris Bosh situation where you have a sunk cost on your salary cap, but you got Giannis. And I guess, dude, Josh Christopher, good luck, dude. You're running point this year. Like, I don't know. Like, I think those are the things that are all interesting about it. But look, Howard Beck mentioned it on a podcast. You got to do a recap on it. And what I would say is, hey, look, him mentioning the Heat does not suck. Does it make you feel like, hey, it'll be kicked around? Yeah, I'm not surprised that the Heat are on the list. I'm not surprised that the Heat are on the list of Howard Beck's list, not his official list. And when there is an official list, then we'll get more into the nitty-gritty of it. But I basically feel like, and I think rightfully so, if you're the Bucks and you're looking at the Heat and they don't have as many picks as everybody else, then I think it's like, all right, well, we want every young guy you have. Every guy. Nico, Kalel, Pella, Jaime, hell, Keyshawn Johnson might be even thrown in there too. Like, and your 3 picks and your swaps. And you get Giannis with Bam, with Tyler. I suppose the salary would have to be like Wiggins, and I don't know if it's either Wiggins or if it's just going to be the expirings. I don't know what they want to do there. But I suppose then you could go like a team of Tyler, Bam, Giannis, Wiggins, and then Davion Mitchell. And then I guess you got to figure out the rest and see what that entails and what that becomes. But I'm sure there's going to be plenty of summer fodder of it. But hey, Howard Beck mentions us on a podcast.